Hey, folks, welcome to the live trading action video by InTheMoneyStocks.com. This again coming to you on Friday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on November 21st, 2014. All right, number one, I want to talk a little bit about this reversal just briefly. So, markets gapped up on major stimulus again around the globe, and that seems to be the only thing that's driving the markets higher, but it's been doing it very, very successfully lately. Earlier, a couple weeks ago, we heard from the Japanese central bank as they basically said we're going to print more and more money. Then last night, we heard that the Chinese lowered interest rates, and Draghi, the ECB president, essentially said that they're going to be buying bonds. So stimulus, stimulus, stimulus to the economies of the global picture, and that has driven the markets up. But I think today is interesting. Now, I'm curious to see how the market ends today, but the fact is, this gap up today was not held very well. And look at you could just see it. I mean, it's very controlled on the sell side, but it was just constant. Constant, and not that the volume's heavy by any stretch, but it is a little bit better than the previous couple days. But it is interesting to notice how the markets are not able to really hold the gains today. And again, we're still going to end positive on the day unless we see a very sharp late day sell-off, which is unlikely. But I think it is worth noting that this is the first time that I've seen stimulus news announced and the markets give away most of their gap up gains. And again, if you go to the daily charts on some of these indices here, you can see a big ugly red candle there, and again, it's hard to see that chart, but we can go to the DIA. Look at that ugly red chart candle on the daily, and look at the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ 100. Not a very pretty chart here, as the QQQ has actually been as low as essentially negative on the day today, which is pretty astounding. We are seeing some weakness in other names, but again, I think that the reversals here do speak for themselves. A couple stocks out there that are reversing that are catching my eye that have been leaders. For one, Whirlpool has come back in. Take a look at JPM on the intraday chart. Opened sharply higher and gave up most of its gains just like the market. Goldman Sachs, same thing, opened sharply higher, gave it all back. And Apple, which has been one of the leaders recently, is basically flat on the day after gapping up as well. So these signals, again, while it's no change in character, which I've said day in, day out, again, no change in character whatsoever, they do make me wonder if this is the beginning of the end, if you will. And again, granted, we're going into Thanksgiving week, which is going to be very light in volume, but I am curious to watch and see how these things perform here. All right, so again, the cracks are there. I just want to see, again, follow, like if we were to sell, and basically, let's say we close right here today, up about $1 on the spiders, and they're popping it a little bit here, and if we were to see follow through on Monday, and Monday we were to sell down to gap fill or a little bit below, to me that would be a topping signal. If we rally sharply higher into the end of the day, which is very, very possible, as they've done that lately, especially around the 3 o'clock time frame, which we're just hitting now, then ultimately I would say to you, don't even worry about what happens early next week until we see that dual two-day kind of sell-off reversal type signals. All right, on that note, folks, come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Profit with the pros. Let us teach you how to read these charts and basically put yourself in a position to, as long as you learn this methodology, profit in any market, up or down. Take care.